We'll get started now. I think by now everyone's seen the Walking Love reflections that have been back on the offertory table and coming to you in the mail. If you didn't get them in the mail, we don't have your address. The next thing is going to be coming towards the end of this week will be the pledge cards. So look out for those towards the end of the week. There will be additional reflections in the font, and they'll be available here in printed form. So look out for those as well. The end of our stewardship campaign will be October 20th. So bring your pledge cards on October 20th to have them prayed over and blessed. So that is what I have for the stewardship campaign, but I also wanted to give a little bit of an update for our financials for 2024 so far. So this is the Diocesan Investment Fund, or DIF, sometimes the endowment. And so we often get that question, how much is in our investment fund? And let's see. So as of the end of August, it was $256,717. And you can see the balance as a line. That's the 250,000 line right there. So just bouncing around there right now. I did figure out we earned $25,873 on that investment through August for this year. We did take $30,000 for operations, and that's indicated here once in April for $5,000, and then in June for $25,000. At the annual meeting, we did discuss that we were going to have to rely on some of the endowment funds for our operations this year. An update on pledges. At the annual meeting, there were 36 pledges received, and we're up to 41 with a total pledge amount of $194,000 and change. Received to date, $135,000. So just a touch behind if we were going linearly on our pledges. Plate, I'm projecting around 14,000, maybe a little bit more. And right now, 11,403 has been received. So that total projected for pledge and plate is 208,000. We did budget 213.5. Other income that's substantial is our grant from the Diocese of Olympia for $20,000. That is funding our associate rector. Thank you for being here. Yes, very much thank you, Diocese. And also our rental income. Both of these are pretty close to on track. The budgeted amount for rental income for 2024 is $27,000, and with a little bit of extra usage by some of our groups, we will see a tiny bit more, but it won't be substantial. And the scary one, this is our incomes versus expense. So the blue line is our expenses so far this year, and the light blue at the end is the budgeted amount for that. I have some notes. Okay, and then on the income side, that's showing the year-to-date income in dark green with the $30,000 that was pulled from the investment fund, and then our projected in the very light green that looks white, and then the orange is going to be another about $25,000 that we'll be needing to take from the investment to cover operations. The number we're taking from the diff is right in line with what we expected, although it is a significant amount. I did check on how we're doing on the budget, and right now everything is where we expected, except for property maintenance. We had some unexpected service calls for our HVAC, and I think we underestimated the travel for our priests. So that's my update for 2024 so far. If there's any questions, I can try to answer them. Go ahead. Yes, I'm going to send this out either with our pledge. This same information will go out with either the pledge cards or with the September, or with a third quarter giving statement. If anyone wants to be treasurer. Go ahead.
Do you have any anticipation of costs increasing for 2025?
Well, I was going to try to put that information together. It's always a surprise when the garbage company decides that costs will go up some number of percent. In fact, actually, that was one of the other things that's throwing our property maintenance up, is that we include the surface water tax that King County puts on everyone who has property, regardless if you are nonprofit and tax exempt. That went up 14% this year. Yeah. 14%, I don't know if I wrote down the number, the difference, but from what we expected. It's actually 14% more than we expected. That's not necessarily 14% over last year. It's actually and the garbage company and the electric company and the gas company, they all like to raise rates, and we don't really get much of a notice on that, just a notice and then the next bill, right? Just like you at home.
We do know one certain expansion in costs for next year is going to be clergy salary. They've already set the percentage. Well, we have to vote on it at DAS convention, but it's probably going to pass, and it will be 3.8% increase in required salary, cost of living increase. So that will be, that's 57, 60% of the budget total. So we know that at least 50 or 60% of the budget will increase by 3.8%.
Yeah, I was actually waiting to get the numbers off of the website, but I'll try to tuck that in with the donation statements. So I didn't include that, and I did not include outreach in these numbers. Our outreach income is just about level with our spending in outreach, but the consultant will be, the vestry has already approved spending money from the endowment for the consultant, and that is 35 plus travel, so we're figuring 40 or so. Because they do, I don't know the exact number of people that will be here, but they do travel for 1 week. It may be that we have to invest quite a bit before we start to see something coming back, but the hope is that that gives us a direction that will, I mean, that's why we're doing it. We're working with a consultant to find a direction for the church to go forward to extend how long we could go. Because, as you know, if we're spending $50,000, $60,000 for operations out of that endowment, it will not last forever. So we need to do something to grow or find another revenue source. Okay. Thank you all for sticking around.